Example and welcome to Do You Know Your Child? I'm your host Choni. There are no tools to measure and classify parents as good or bad. It's purely subjective, and if the parents act in the best possible ways in various situations using the best available resources, then they're best parents. In our last show, our participants made some commitments, and we're going to take a look at how well they're doing now.
The commitment that I have made was to spend more time with my kids. And I think I've been doing that. Right after school, when we are home, I make sure that I spend as much as the time, I make sure that I spend more time with them. And I even make sure that I have their friends at home so that they don't get bored. And when they are studying, when they have their friends, they study well. So I call their friends here and I teach them together. And whatever they want to eat, whatever they demand, I make sure that I make for them as far as I can, and I serve them. And I think wherever they want to go, I've been taking them, so like picnics, and then we have been going for outings, and dinner, and we have been spending a lot of time together these days.
Is a learning experience. When it comes to parenting, we always learn through mistakes. There are no such thing as perfect parenting. Similarly, every child differs in mental attitudes, likes and dislikes. Applying the same parenting styles on all children could be destructive and dangerous. Looking back at your own experiences will help you, to some extent, to determine effective ways of parenting. Let's see which family we have today.
I'm Chhoden. I work as a teacher at Babisa Primary School. My husband is Jigme Wangchuk. He works in the Ministry of Agriculture. At present, he's on tour, so he isn't here with us. And here is my elder son. He's 12 years old. He studies at Dr. Tobgate School in class 7. He loves reading books. He's a great fan of books, and then I'm proud of his quality of reading books. Now, here is my younger son. His name is Namgil Rikpal Wangchuk. He is 7 years old and he studies at Babisa Primary School in class 2. He loves playing cars. He loves to play PS2. And then he also has started to read books, and I think it's the great influence of this son of mine. And I'm proud to be the mother of my 2 sons.
Welcome, this is my room. This is where I study every day, and this is my evenings program. I'm a true believer in this. Success is nothing more than a few disciplines. Practice every day is very apt for every individual, and without disciplines, nothing is achievable. By Jim Rohn. This is my bookshelf, and these 4 are my favorite books, which I read every day. This is the first book of the Young Samurai series, and this is my favorite. Well, these 3 books are connected. The first comes the Ring of Earth, then the Ring of Water, then the Ring of Fire.
Let's welcome our first participant, Sonam Choden, and ask her son, Tinleri Wangchuk, later the same questions and tally their answers. Welcome to our show, Ola.
Thank you, ma'am.
I always begin my show with one question, and that is, do you know your child?
Yes, I think I know my child very well.
And you have how many kids?
I have 2 sons.
2 sons. How do you make sure you know both of them, and how do you make sure you keep up with them?
Every morning, we start our day with our greetings. Then the moment my sons get out of the door, I always advise them, be good at school, be attentive in the class. And then once they are back home, I always ask about how was their day. And then I always try to know their strengths and weaknesses, and I'm always beside them.
I see. Okay. Does that help, La?
Yes.
Do your kids understand that you're trying to reach out to them? Because how old are they, La?
My eldest son is 12 and my younger son is 7 years old.
Okay, so they are at an age where they will be close to you.
Yeah.
But if you have teenagers, how do you think, is it going to be any different, La?
I know my sons are going to be teenagers very soon, but I think that it's very important to groom your child right from the, toddler itself.
I see.
Because if you make your child comfortable with yourself, if you are always, beside your children, and then if you tend to have the closeness, I think when they grow up into teenagers also, I don't think I would have any problem to tackle with them.
Yeah, even if they change physically and of course mentally, the aspect of the communication aspect between you and your son would remain the same because you've trained them to be like that. So I definitely appreciate that for you for saying that, because a lot of our viewers are interested to know how to communicate with teenagers and toddlers, of course. So maybe the differences too. Okay, before we begin. Before I begin asking you the questions, let me go let you know the instructions here. I have 10 questions in this envelope here, and then I will be asking you all the 10 questions about your son. Then later on, we'll have your son come over here, and while you sit next to him, I will be asking him the same 10 questions, and then we'll tally the answers, and for every right answer that you give, you will be given a point. And it'll be out of 10, so there are 10 questions, so the point system will be out of 10, all right?
Okay.
Before we dive in again, let me know some experience. What are some good things about being a mother?
I always tell to my sons, and then I always tell to my students in the school that the best thing in the world that I've experienced is being a mother. After being a mother, I know I have lots of changes in myself. I have become more not complacent, I have become more understanding than the temper which I used to have in my olden days at my young age. I have become so sober now, and then I think I have changed a lot being a mother, and then I think I'm proud.
Okay.
I'm proud.
I see. It's good to hear that. You said you are proud with who you are right now, but are you really, did you ever feel like, oh, I'm giving this up for my sons? Oh, I'm compromising this for my sons. Have you ever felt that?
I never felt this way, but I always make sure that whatever I do, I'm doing for my children. And then I'm a teacher. I have lots of opportunities to avail during my winter time and my summer break, but I ensure not to go to those places because I think my son's education is the most important in my life. Going there and then, I might be benefited with my own professional achievements, but at the end of the day, what I want to achieve is the best education for my children. And then to spend more time with them, I feel it's more important than the other part of my life.
I see, okay. Do you ever feel like you have to convey this to your son, or do you keep your sons away from whatever the sacrifices you're giving, or even whether it's, even if it's voluntarily, and even if you're happy to give up, let's say, a going abroad chance? Do you ever feel the need to communicate that to your kids?
Yeah, I think it's very important. I always talk to my sons and I always make them realize the importance of life. I always ensure that I tell them always, and then most of the time I tell to my sons, and even my sons tell that, you tell us the same thing every morning, and then every night we come back home, and then I tell, if I don't tell you such things, you might move the wrong track. True. It's my responsibility as a mom. And then I always tell them, I am very sick, but I go to school, I work. Do you know for who I'm working? I always make them realize the value of life, and then the value of the relation that we as parents and children must have, the bond, which is very important, and then communication, which most of us lack. I think we have that strong communication in my family, I think.
Okay, all right. Well, if you feel that confident, I'm sure you'll do well. Okay. And even if you don't, let me remind you and our viewers out here that this show is not here, we're not here to judge anyone. Okay. Whether you get 1 or whether you score 10 out of 10, or whether you score 0. We're not here to judge anyone, because this is only 10 questions out of so many things you know about your children. Yes. So just a reminder here, Ella. Yes. Okay, with this, let's go into our questions here. Here is your first question. Are you ready, La?
Yes.
Okay. What is your child's favorite book?
The Young Samurai.
The Young Samurai. When did he read this?
He started reading from class 6.
Okay, all right. And who bought him that book?
He knew about this book and then he really wanted to buy. And then he asked his father, but due to his busy schedule, he couldn't get it. And then I asked my sisters from,
I see,
going
okay.
through, and then they had to come to Phuntsho to get that book as we were living in Bumtang. And then I think my sisters were there to support him because he loves reading.
I see. Okay, all right, great. Question number 2. Do you read to your son, La?
He was very much interested in reading, and then I still remember bedtime, the bedtime stories. Like I used to translate the story in Shachubs, but he was not ready. I had to read him the transcriptions in English. Then I had to explain in Shachub. Then he used to be ready to listen. He was very much interested in listening to stories, and then I think today he is very interested in reading books, and then I'm proud.
Do you think there's a connection between a mom reading to her child and a child's reading habit in the future?
Yes, La. Yes. I think like sometimes I tell to even my cousins that they must encourage their children to read, and then they must be supporting their children to take interest in reading, which is very crucial even in the schools. So like I feel that it's very important. I gave my time when he was young. I used to spend lots of time, especially during the night, and today also he cannot sleep without reading books.
Okay, I see. All right. Question number 3. What was the last book you bought for him?
The last book that I bought for him was The Ring of Water from the series The Young Samurai.
Okay, all right. Question number 4. Who is your son's best friend?
His best friend is Chikminamge.
And same class? Are
No,
they?
he is at Bumtang.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they have very good communication. They talked,
I see. Okay, wow. Question number 5. How tall is your son?
He is 5.1.
5.1. Okay. Question number 6. What irritates him the most?
He always tells me that sometimes my voice irritates me, irritates him because I tend to shout, And then the next thing is he tells me that I'm a little bit, short-tempered in the school because we were together, till class, his primary education, he was along with me.
I see.
But today he's studying at Dr. Tobge, but he still tells me.
That is your voice irritates
Yeah,
you?
yeah. My voice is very loud, like when I talk to my students in the assembly, the way I shout, like it's...
Do you ever take his feedback as
Yes.
As constructive criticism?
Yes, I do accept.
So you do try to work on
Yeah,
it?
I do try to work on that.
I see. Okay, that's very sweet though. Question number 7.
Okay.
What does he do first thing in the morning?
The first thing he does is he washes his face, brushes his teeth, and then we call him for the breakfast.
I see. Okay. All right. Question number 8. Who wakes him up in the morning?
Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's Dad.
Okay. All right. Okay. Question number 9. This is your second last question. What time does he wake up at?
Morning 7.
Morning 7. Okay. And your final question, what does he like to eat for breakfast?
Cheese sandwich.
Cheese sandwich for breakfast. Okay, all right. With this, you have finished answering all the 10 questions. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How do you think you've done, La?
I think I've done quite well.
Okay, all right. Very confident. Now we'll have your son come here, all right? Okay. We've just finished talking to the mom, and now we have the son with us here. Welcome to the show. And before we go into these questions, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, La.
Okay, go ahead.
My name is Tshering and I'm in class 7 and I study in Dr. Topgil School.
Dr. Thopgil, do you like it in Dr. Thopgil or in Bumtang?
I guess I would like it in Bumtang.
You miss Bumtang?
Yes,
How
La.
long have you lived in Bumtang?
1.5 years.
Oh, wow. And you miss it there?
Yes, La.
Do you go visit there?
No, I think we have plans to visit.
Okay, all right, great. All right, what just happened before you came in here is that I asked your mom 10 questions about you. Now I'll be asking the same 10 questions to you, and we'll see how well your mom has performed, okay?
Yes.
All right, but I told your mom, and I want to tell you that regardless of what score we have here, whether it's 0 or 10, your mom is your mom. You need to respect your mom and love her the same way, okay? Regardless of your score. I bet if I ask you all these 10 questions about your mom, you might not answer well too. So, right? You need to be a little more understanding on that. All right. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Question number 1. What is your favorite book?
Young Samurai.
The Young Samurai. Okay. Question number 2. Did your mom read to you when you were young?
Yes, sir.
When would she read to you?
Bedtime.
Bedtime. Okay, all right. Question number 3. What was the book your mom last bought for you? What was the name of the book?
Young Samurai.
Young Samurai. And is there another book? Question number 4. Who is your best friend?
Jigminam Gilan Pema Tenzin.
Okay, where do they live?
Bumtang.
They're both in Phuntsho. When did you move to Thimphu?
2000 this year.
This year. Oh, which is why it must have been hard for you to move, right? You're moving away from your best friends. So do you have some good friends here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so and you're very charming. You can make new friends anywhere you go, but you definitely want to preserve and keep and maintain your old friends too, right? You should never lose touch. Do you keep in touch with them?
Yes, sir.
How do you keep in touch?
By calling them.
Calling. No letter writing? Back then we had to do that. We didn't know how to use email, and I didn't have a phone till I graduated high school. So I used to write to my best friend because after my middle secondary school, she went to Dorji and I went to DZONGKHA, and we had to keep in touch through letter writing. It was really nice. I still have those collected, so you should try that at some point. All right? Okay. Question number 5. How tall are you?
153 la.
153 centimeters, right?
Yes.
Okay. Question number 6. What irritates you the most?
My brother.
Your brother. Why does he irritate you?
Because I don't usually beat him or anything, and he just takes advantage of me.
Ah, okay. We all have that. I'm sure. Do you have siblings too, La?
Yes, I
Yeah.
have.
So I bet your mom has gone through that experience. I've gone through that experience.
Yes.
But I think this is a recent realization. I've realized that if I ever have kids, before I used to say I only want one kid, but now I've realized that I want my kid to have a sibling because you cannot replace a sister or a brother with anything else. You'll have plenty of best friends and good friends, but a brother or a sister is there like through thick and thin, and you can trust them with all kinds of secrets. You might not be able to do that with friends, but seriously, when you grow up, you will realize his importance. But I'm sure you still love him right now,
Yes, love.
but it's just irritating sometimes, right?
Yes.
I share your experience. Okay. All right, question number 7 then. What do you do first thing in the morning?
Fold my bed sheets and then I wash my face.
Okay, wash your face. All right. Question number 8. Who wakes you up in the morning?
Mother and father.
Okay, all right. Question number 9. What time do you wake up at?
In school time, I wake up at 7, and right now I wake up at only 9:30 to 10.
Nice. I would love that life. Question number 10. This is your last question. What do you like to eat for breakfast?
Cornflakes and bread with cheese.
Cornflakes. With what?
Bread with cheese.
Okay, so it's a cheese sandwich?
Yes, cheese sandwich.
Okay, all right. Bread and cheese and cornflakes. All right. Well, you've both finished answering all the 10 questions. Congratulations to you too. And before we take a look at the scores, how do you think you've done, La?
I think I've done quite well.
Okay, all right. Very good. Do you trust your mom on that?
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right, let's take a look at the scores. I'm excited, okay?
Okay.
All right. What is your child's favorite book?
The Young Samurai.
Young Samurai.
Do you read to your son, La?
Yes, la.
Yes, la.
What was the last book you bought for him?
The Young Samurai.
Young Samurai.
Who is your son's best friend?
Chikminamge.
Jigminam Gilan.
How tall is your son?
5.1.
153 la.
What irritates him the most?
My voice.
My brother.
What does he do first thing in the morning?
Washes his face, brushes his teeth.
Wash my face.
wakes him up in the morning?
Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's dad.
Mother and father.
What time does he wake up?
7.
7.
What does he like to eat for breakfast?
Cheese sandwich.
Bread with cheeses.
All right, we have the scores here now, and you have scored 9 out of 10. So
That's
it's a
good.
big yay for you. The only question that you weren't able to answer correctly is what irritates you the most. Can you guess what your mom had said? Any guesses?
Flies?
Flies? Nuh-uh.
I don't know.
Okay. Your mom said you get irritated with her voice. Is that true?
Shouts.
Yeah, when she shouts, yes.
When she shouts.
But that's not frequent, so I don't think that.
Only when she's shouting.
Shouts, yes.
I get irritated when my mom shouts and screams at me too. All right, okay. Well, I mean, 9 is a great score. Do you think so?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's 90% out of 100, right? And she did really well. For question number 6, that is how tall are you? Your mom said 5.1, right? 5'1", and you said 153 centimeters, right? Now, let's just confirm, because I actually don't know whether I should trust you or your mom on this, okay? So we'll just try and measure height, okay? All right, we've confirmed that he is indeed 153 centimeters, and which is 5.05, which is just, it's very close to what you said. So we're going to give this mark because height, they keep growing. At this age, they're growing constantly. So for that, we'll give this point, okay? So which is why you got 9, all right?
As a mother, I have been observing that my son lacks a little bit of confidence. Today when I came here also, I had been advising him that in life, to excel in life, no matter how intelligent you are, your confidence, the self-confidence, you need to build it up.
Sure.
And then I always advise, especially my elder son, to be confident.
Yes.
And then that's why whenever I'm given a chance to come to such shows, I ensure that we two are ever ready, so that I would be a great help to my son to gain confidence in life.
Do you think this show has helped you gain confidence?
Yes, la.
Are you sure?
Yes, la.
Are you just saying it just because your mom said something about it?
No.
You look confident, my dear. This is confidence. I say, and even Obama, if I may, I can't just quote, but I remember him saying somewhere that, and I believe this is true for me too, that I might look confident when I come on stage, when I speak to thousands of people, but at the back of the stage, I'm fidgeting. I'm so nervous.
nervous.
My adrenaline is flowing and it's making me crazy. But this juice that flows up and down when you're nervous is the juice that makes you confident. Look at you. You're nervous. Yeah, a little. Your mom's a nervous, nervous
I
too.
too.
I'm a little nervous too. I'm always nervous.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is, but then just because you want to try to hide this nervousness, you try to put on a good face. And look, all of us we look very confident and relaxed here, right? Okay. Well, you look confident, so it's a great success. You need to participate more like this, okay? Good. All right, that was your commitment that you want to build up on his self-esteem and confidence. Okay. What about you? Do you have any recommendations for us for the types of questions that I need to ask, just to make it more fun?
You could ask their hobbies
Yeah, hobbies, okay.
and places.
Favorite places. Okay, that's a good one. All right, we will do that, okay? And what about you, do you have any feedbacks or any kind of questions? Because you are a teacher, you know a lot about kids, Mola. So any questions that I should have asked?
Yes, favorite subjects.
Yeah, favorite subjects and
their ambitions.
Okay, all right.
That's
The
sometimes
future,
very
their future.
important, yeah.
Yes, okay.
Like most of our children in the school, like when they even reach to the higher classes, they are not aware of what they want to become in the future. That's why they land up in the wrong, wrong places.
I see, okay.
And I think as parents and then as teachers, that's very important.
I see, okay. I'll definitely keep that in mind,
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
All right. Well, I really want to thank you both for coming here and participating. This was so much fun. I had so much fun meeting you and talking to you and your mother. And as a thank you, I don't have any presents for your mama, but here's for you. And enjoy reading it. Okay. All right. With this, we have come to the end of the show. It was really nice meeting you guys again.
Same
Thank
to
you so much
Thank
for
you so
coming.
much.
Giving and receiving respect is one of the greatest lessons of life. Children need to learn to respect others as well as their property and, of course, the earth. Showing respect for others will bring respect upon him or herself, contribute to their character, and enhance their chances of success. Come back next week, and if you would like to be a part of this show or if you have any suggestions or feedback, please call us at 17922-848 or 1761-7771 or mail us at parenting@bbs.pt. Bye-bye and see you soon.